Hi, everyone. It's Coach Jen here, and today we are going to do more digital illustration in Sumopaint. First, I want to show you an example of some awesome digital illustration. There's this great new book I just read with my kids. It's called Consent for Kids: Boundaries, Respect, and Being in Charge of You. And one of the things that I just found so impressive about this book is you can see the illustrations are pretty simple, and yet they convey really complicated subject matter in a really fun, entertaining way that can show the full range of emotion. So let me just show you a couple pages. So for example, being the ruler of your body means your body is yours, 100% mine. So you can see, look at these details. Look at these stars. Look at these little dashes. You can see this character, this person is really happy. They feel like they just won like an award. They're on top of the world, 100% mine. Little arrow, in control of own body. Awesome. Now we're going to check out some other emotions with very similar characters. So you'll notice very similar shapes are involved in all three characters. We got the face, we got different hair. So this hair looks curly. This hair is using more triangle, kind of pointy hairs here. And then we have little polka dots on their clothes, but we have basically the same body shape. On this side, it says, as a ruler, you get to set your own boundaries. Awesome. Wait, what's a boundary? So you can see, again, look at these awesome details. We have this celebrating legs being kicked up, the arms outstretched. And then when you look at, we have this confused character over here. You have a frowning face. You have the eyes as little lines instead of the curved ones over there. And you can see their little stick arms are being held up to their chin. So you can see very subtle changes in your digital illustrations can make a big impact. Awesome. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to use some of the additional tools in Sumopaint that let you do things well beyond what you normally could do by just drawing. And then you can go ahead and make your awesome own character, just like in Consent for Kids, which, by the way, is by Rachel Bryan. Okay, let me go ahead and start my screen share. Okay, so here we have Sumopaint. As a reminder, if you want to get to the URL, you just go to sumo.app/paint/en. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and this is how we usually start our digital illustration projects, is I'm going to actually add a new layer. So just as a reminder, to add a layer, I go to this bottom section here on the right under layers, and I press the plus button. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and press that. It's going to add a layer with these checkered marks. That means it's transparent. So that means you'll be able to see through it, see to the bottom layer. And you'll notice it automatically will turn the second layer dark. So I'm drawing on layer 2. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways to draw a circle. Last time we used this paintbrush, and that allows us just to freehand draw. And we can do any shape we want. So that's kind of my freehand draw. And sometimes you want a circle that is a little bit imprecise. Sometimes you like seeing that kind of more hand-drawn aesthetic. Other times you might want a circle that's a really precise circle. So in that case, we're actually going to use the circle tool. So I'll give you a second. See, can you find the circle tool on the screen? There's lots of different shapes. Oh, and there it is. And very aptly labeled, it's just a circle. So this will allow you to make perfect circles. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'll say, whoa, perfect circle. So all I did was I clicked it and then I dragged out. And you can see it's an all black circle, but you could always change that if you want. You'll notice it's this one is all the way filled in. Let's say I wanted to make the effect of having kind of just the outline of the circle, kind of a hollow out circle. And what I could do, there's different ways to do it. I'm going to go ahead and just use this eraser tool. And I'm going to just actually erase the middle part. So it kind of gives you a fun, little bit uneven, kind of appears painted look. You'll notice here on the eraser tool, there's a few different options here at top. So it says flow 25%. So flow, you can kind of think about it as like if you had an ink pen, it's like how much ink is flowing through. But since it's an eraser, instead of having ink, you're actually like pulling away ink in a lot of ways. So it's like the reverse flow, or how much of the whiteness or how much removal are you doing. So you notice this is 25%. I can make it even lower. So you can see, okay, so this is 5%. So you'll notice it kind of looks like it's like a little bit blurry or grayish. That's 5%. If we did 100%, what do you think it would look like? Would more of the black go away or less of the black go away? Let's find out. So now I have this. Now this is 100%. Whoa. So if you guessed more of the black would flow away, you were correct. So if you want a very stark contrast and you want to pull away all of the ink, you want to change your flow to 100%. So I'll just leave that at 100%. Ooh. Ooh. And now it's cool. It kind of reminds me of when there's like an eclipse and you kind of see on the edges, there's like a little bit of light coming and blocking. Okay, so here we have what actually could look like, you know, two cool like uneven eyeballs. Kind of like it. The next tool I want to show you, this is really cool because you couldn't do this just with a regular marker and piece of paper. But I'm going to use a selection tool. So let's say I actually want to draw a body underneath the circle. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have enough space. I don't want to have to redo it though. So what should I do? I'm going to actually go here. I'm going to click the selection tool. So let me go ahead and circle that. So this is the selection tool. Ooh. It looks kind of like a little dot marquee around there. That will allow me to actually pick what I want to adjust. So let's say I just want to pick this thing. So I draw a square around it. Boop. Then I just go to Edit, Free Transform. And then if I want to keep the relative dimensions, so I want to keep the relative shape, all I do is drag it and oop, I can make it smaller so I can fit the body. Let's say I don't press the Shift key, then that allows me to actually kind of stretch it out and change the relative shape. But if I do want to keep it, I just press the Shift key. So while I'm dragging it out, it will still maintain that shape. Okay, so let's say I want to get this circle closer to this other one. All I do now is I click this Move tool. So the Move tool is just right next to the Selection tool. Looks like an arrow. Boop, boop, oops. Not a beautiful arrow, but oops. Here we go. So then I just pick it up. Oh, and you'll notice both of these eyes are moving around. So it's just picking up the layer and moving it around. Let's say I only want to move one eye. Then what tool do I use? I'll give you a hint. It's one we've already used. Okay, selection. So I'm going to select this. Now I'm going to click my arrow, and now I can move just the eyeball. So I actually don't have to erase or redo anything. I can just select what I want, and then I can move it to boop, wherever I want it. Maybe I'll give it a happy face while I'm here. So one thing that you'll also see that's an option both for the eraser tool that we used before, as well as this paintbrush tool, is something called diameter. So diameter you'll actually be using in cool geometry and math classes later on. But basically, it's telling us how big or small do we want, basically the size of your paintbrush. So if you want a small diameter, whoop, it comes out as a very thin line. It's barely even visible there when I just click it. And if you want a super big, let's see the biggest diameter we could do, 150 pixels. Whoa, you can even see before I click anything, the outline of the circle, it tells you, oh, well, wow. That's a big diameter. So let's compare, that's 150 pixels. This is 19 pixels. So you can see diameter is what gives you how thick, how wide that circle is. That will then affect how your stroke looks. Okay, so we've done some really cool tools today. Let's do a quick review. This tool is the select tool. It comes out as a square or rectangle, so that's why it's called rectangular select tool. We got this arrow that is the move tool that allows you to move things around. We used as review our brush tool that makes our paintbrush effect, so you can free draw. We use the eraser tool. We learned about flow that changes how much you're actually extracting, how much ink you're taking out. And then we also use the circle tool. Woo, that was a lot. Okay, so I hope you try using all of those new tools today and you can make any design you want. Thanks so much. And if you want to watch more videos, go ahead and click subscribe. See you next time.